guys, welcome to another video. This is the worst video that I have ever made, but you know, worst things have happened, worst things are happening in this world, and we don't know what to do right now because like it's worse, like it's worse than that I thought. Like I didn't even watch the videos, but let's just watch the video and understand what's really happening in Sudan, because this is, yeah, this is horrible, man. Let's just watch the video.
What's happening in Sudan is a genocide and an occupation by a UAE-backed militia called the RSF, or the Rapid Support Forces. To understand this, we have to go back to the creation of the United Arab Emirates.
The United Arab Emirates, or UAE, was formed in 1971 by direct intervention of the United States. Like Israel, the UAE was built up as a client state to secure Western interests and dominance in the Middle East, in exchange for protecting U.S. oil routes and acting as a regional enforcer. The Emirati royal families got to enjoy a life of immense luxury. The U.S. supplied weapons, military training, and political backing, ensuring that the Emirati monarchy could hold power without challenge. This arrangement turned the UAE into one of America's most loyal allies.
So if you don't understand that, that means the U.S. was providing their assets actually. You see, they are protecting their assets. They are providing weapons to protect their assets. If they went, like, the oil route was not passing through to Sudan, they wouldn't be doing all these things. Some of the weapons come from the U.S. Believe me, you will hear it later in the news. Some of the weapons come from there to support the IRF, SRF, these nonsensical things. You will see. You will see as they continue.
Region, its major defense partner. It all started when oil was discovered in regions that are now Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the 1960s. The U.S. wanted to secure this oil after Britain announced in 1968 that it would withdraw its military from the region. Unlike in countries like Afghanistan and Iraq, where the U.S. relied on direct military invasions to secure its interests, in the UAE it took a softer colonial strategy, building up loyal monarchies and securing oil through partnerships with the royal family in exchange for protection and luxury. This allowed the U.S. to transform the UAE into a willing defense arm of its empire, hosting bases, supplying weapons, and protecting power across the Middle East and Africa. So in 1971, the U.S., along with the UK, helped found the Federation of the Seven Emirates, which came to be called the United Arab Emirates. Full citizenship in the UAE was then restricted to people who could trace their lineage back to the royal families. American oil companies like Exxon, Mobil, and Chevron gained privileged access to the UAE's oil reserves. In return, the U.S. made sure those profits flowed back into the royal family wealth and U.S. arms sales. The UAE quickly took a page out of the neo-colonial playbook and sought to expand as an empire through the pillaging of the African continent. From smuggling minerals out of the Democratic Republic of Congo, to funding wars in Libya, to land grabs in the Horn of Africa. Emirati elites have treated the continent as a backyard for extraction and profit.
Meanwhile, in Sudan, people were rising up against a corrupt regime. In 2018 and 2019, Sudanese masses led a powerful revolution against decades of corruption and mismanagement under previous President Omar al-Bashir. People demanded better standards of living and representative governance. Bashir was eventually removed, but what came after was a fragile transitional period, one filled with hope but also uncertainty. And this is where the UAE saw its opportunity.
In 2023, the UAE took advantage of this political power vacuum. It poured weapons, money, fighters, and political backing into the Rapid Support Forces, or the RSF, the private militia.
What did I say? I told you, the weapons were provided by some big company. And the UAE, for those who don't know the UAE, the city of the UAE, the most popular city is Dubai. It's Dubai. So they are the ones who are pouring these weapons into these small countries but big in minerals, so that they can these wars are funded by them. It's like when the US funded the Venezuelan war, so that the US can benefit from the political what they knew that Venezuela was going to support their political regime, and now they funded the Venezuelan soldiers with weapons so that they can invade. Was it Vietnam? I'm not sure. I'm going to research it. Don't worry. But I'm going to research it. It's the same thing. Right now, the UAE saw an opportunity to invade Sudan, and they're using it.
Stemming out of a previous militia alliance.
And innocent people are getting killed.
The RSF launched a violent campaign to seize Sudan by force. turning people's anger at their government into fuel for its occupation. They destroyed
Messed up.
infrastructure and wiped out entire lands and family lineages, massacring and displacing local communities at rates never before seen in modern history. The UAE flooded in the resources to make this possible.
You see?
This wasn't an internal conflict. It was a siege, funded
United
and
Arab
armed by a
Emirates.
foreign power. In return,
That's no-
the
that's no
UAE
good
has
of you.
extracted billions of dollars worth of gold and agricultural resources from Sudan and positioned itself to seize control of vast stretches of land, fueling its wealth while leaving Sudanese communities in ruins.
Eventually, early in 2025, the Sudanese military managed to push the RSF out of the capital of Khartoum and out of the Al Jazeera region.
That was
The
good. I'll
RSF's
get back.
military defeats throughout central regions resulted in the militia shifting into its current strategy, annexation of the resource-rich west of Sudan. In Darfur and Kordofan, regions already scarred by decades of violence and marginalization under the Bashir regime, the RSF has entrenched itself, carrying out an ethnic cleansing campaign to massacre and drive out the indigenous populations in order to take control of the land and resources. Many in Sudan have taken up arms to fight with the very military they were resisting against in 2019 because it remains the only armed force fighting against the RSF in determination that after the RSF is expelled, civilian-led transition will continue.
The people of Sudan are resisting a brutal genocide and a foreign-backed occupation orchestrated by the UAE and carried out
Shit.
through its militia, the RSF. But our fight is bigger than Sudan.
fucked
It is
up.
a fight against an imperial system that allows foreign powers to carve up our lands, to steal our resources,
It's
and to
always
decide
puppet
who
masters.
gets to live in luxury while others are condemned to starvation and terror. Every act of resistance in Sudan
You see, even in South Africa, we are not far from more because right now they are manipulating our friend, and we are here just not saying anything about it. I know there are some people who are saying everything about it, but like not a whole lot of people are talking about this. And bruh, they are manipulating everything in Africa. It's like every country in Africa has a puppet master. Like this, bruh. We think we escaped apartheid country. No, we have entered for something that is worse. Now, people and innocent kids and women are going through a lot in Sudan just because somebody wants to get richer.
Sudan is part of a global struggle against neo-colonialism, against the idea that our lives and our futures can be sacrificed for profit and power.
Yeah.
Just as we rose up in
fucked up.
2019 against dictatorship, now we rise against an illegal occupation. What will happen in Sudan when we defeat the RSF, when we expel imperial intervention and influence from our lands, when we rebuild our institutions, and when we choose governance led by us, for us. It will be a blueprint for liberation from neo-colonialism in the 21st century, forged in the face of the greatest crisis in modern history.
You see, this is messed up, man. I don't wanna lie, this is messed up to the highest level. If you see the footage that it was of things that were happening in Sudan, you would get scared of humanity. There is this other guy called I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He's with the big girls. This guy is killing people and he's documenting it and posting it on his social media, on Twitter, on TikTok. He is taking content. It's like he's vlogging his killings. He's vlogging all the things that they are doing to women and children out there. Bruh. If you are not scared, I don't know what you are doing. Because you have to be scared. At the end of the day, this is Africa. This is part of our land. This is part of where we are, where we live. Bruh, no human deserves to be treated that way, bruh. No human deserves to. Innocent people trying to make a living, they just get killed. For what? For what? If you see the real reason is just because of another politician who came up with an idea to get richer. Another person in control, in power, who came up with an idea to to overtake Sudan. Sudan is the most fertile country in Africa, especially for farming. We're talking farming wise. So if your country in Africa has something that is most in Africa, just know that war is coming to you. Whether it's gold, whether it's diamond, whether it's what, they will not stop until we defeat them, or until they defeat us, because they don't see us as humans. As long as you are poor and you don't have any fighting resources, they will use you until you are discarded. Damn, man, stop what's happening in Sudan. That's fucked up. I'm sorry for cursing, but it is though.